Hi, it's Tanya. Welcome to the yin practice today. I'm doing a little yin class for you, and we're going to be focusing on opening up this part of the body, not the boobs, into this area here. So a bit of the armpit, the pec muscles, and across there. So we're really going to focus on opening up. It's really important, especially as we get older, and especially if you are someone with really big boobs, is to make sure that you stretch off, because these muscles from the shoulder to the chest, they can get quite tight. And what I mean by tight is if you can almost think of shrinking. It's not really what happens, but when the muscles shrink, it's very hard to open it up. And then you could have an injury if you try to open up too far, or in time you then land up with this round posture. So it's really important that if you have got this kind of job where you're always sitting like this, or you're quite rounded, or you're slouching in your chair, that you just take time to really stretch off. So that's what we're going to do today. You don't need any equipment. I have got a pillow. So this is a little bit of a funny position to get into. So I'm going to show you both sides, and then I'm going to switch my body around again. So just a word of caution with this one, we are going to be working into the joint, so you don't want to overstretch. We are just after a gentle pulling sensation across this area here, so that we can get into the pec muscles across the front of the shoulder. You might feel pins and needles. There's also a nerve called the brachial nerve there. And sometimes when muscles are really tight, it's almost like sciatica, the muscles can impinge the nerve. So you may feel like pins and needle sensation in the hands. We're not going to be there long, so you can either just, you're not doing any harm to the nerve, it just doesn't feel very nice. So you can either just stay there, or if it gets too uncomfortable, you'll be able to just move the hand to a point where there's stops impinging on the nerve. But like I said, it'll probably be the muscles that are just being stretched that are near the nerve. Marvelous. So let's start. This is called, I think it's called the broken wing. So we're actually going to start on front lying. So lying on the front. So like I said, I'm going to be changing around a little bit so that you can see this. So just so that I can talk, I'm going to put my right hand under my head. So we're going to bring the left hand out to the side, and the palm is going to be facing down onto the floor. Okay, so palm facing down. And now I'm going to switch my body. Now, once your hand is out to the side, you're going to put your right hand under the shoulder and gently turn onto your right hip, left hip. I have to do that other mirror. And then you can bring the knees up, pop a cushion under your head if you want to. So that's one position. So if you feel like you're already feeling a pull on the front of that left arm, you can just stay here. If you're not really feeling anything, you can take the top hand and put it behind. Now, what you're really trying to do is take the shoulder and stack it above the other one. But again, that can be quite intense for some people, so just be mindful. And if you want to go one step further, you can take this top leg back. So we start to almost send the hips backward, and then that is going to get right up the front. So fascia in the body is wrapped diagonally. So this can be quite a good fascia release if you can hold that top leg there. If you need a bit of balance, you can straighten that one. And that's where we're going to stay. Like I said, so find the position that is doable. You don't want to be working too deep into this. So while you might already be there, but I'm just going to take you through this again. So your left hand is out to the side, palm facing down. And then on the other side, your right hand's going to come in. You're going to turn, pop the knees up, and then relax the head down. Right hand lifts, goes over the back if you want it a little bit deeper. And then if you want to go one step further, you can take your right knee up to the ceiling. Perhaps you want to straighten that left leg, and we're going to hold that. So if at any stage this gets too much, you can start to send the hand down, and it will reduce that pull on the chest. Okay, so I'm just going to turn around so that I'm facing you. I'm sure you don't want to see the back of me the whole time. Paul would probably say it's my best part. There we go. Good, so we're just going to stay there. Just trying to see how many minutes we'll be here for. And then come back to your breath. So the yin practice is all about your breathing, about stillness. So we don't want to be fidgeting and scratching the head, and the only time you really want to move in the yin practice is when you're trying to adjust yourself to go a little deeper. Okay. So you want to be on a discomfort scale of about 5. So 10 would be very intense and 0, you can't feel anything. So you want to be at the point where you have the sensation in your body. It's uncomfortable, but it's not painful, and you can stay there for quite a while. Okay, not that we are going to stay there for a while. And what will happen after a few minutes, even 20 seconds or 30 seconds, the tissues, the connective tissues in the body, they will start to realign with each other. So what that means, they will kind of go, oh, we're going to be here for a while. Let's stay in this position. Let's get longer. And then at that point, that discomfort might reduce to a 4 or a 3 without you having moved at all. And then you can maybe take it a little bit deeper. But listen to your body. This is no competition. There's no ego in yin yoga. Well, there shouldn't be ego in any yoga. And just settle. You know, I love yin yoga because it just gives me a chance to actually stop. Just relaxing your jaw and your neck. Like I said, so the extended arm, your left arm, you might get pins and needles. That will have to do with the brachial nerve. That can just indicate that you are really tight there. So you're not doing any harm, but if it does get really uncomfortable or you don't like that sensation, then just move the arm a little bit down. Just let it all go. If your mind starts to wander, then come back to the breath in the body. So breathing in through your nose. Expand your ribs, expand your belly. And then exhale, belly, ribs, collarbone. We have a couple of more breaths. Just allow your breath to come back to normal. Release the top hand over. Bring the knees back. Oh, I love it. And then we'll straighten the legs. Gently roll yourself back onto your front. Oh, nice and easy. Bring the arms in. And then pop your hands under your shoulders. And then just bring yourself up for a moment. So whether you want to do a little child pose or a cat-cow. So everyone likes something different in their body. So I really want you to start to learn how to be intuitive. So just like, what does my body want right now? And it might go, oh, I just want to round my spine, or I just want to do that. So I'm going to turn around so that I'm still facing the camera. So you are going to now send your right hand out to the side. So we're back onto the front. So right hand out to the side. Left hand goes onto under your shoulder, and you're going to push yourself onto the right side of your body, and then bring the knees into the chest. Relax the head down so you can stay there. If you want to go one step further, you can take that left hand up and over the back. So we're really trying to stack that top shoulder above the bottom. And if you want to go a little bit further, you can take that top knee up and perhaps just lengthen that bottom leg away from you to help with your balance. Okay? So I'm just going to turn around. Otherwise, you might I might fall asleep. So top hand there. And sometimes I find with one side I can get into a deeper position, and another side I find it's too much. So don't be surprised if you do have these differences on each side of the body. It's completely normal. So you can either soften your eyes down if you want to. I often find that I like to have the eyes closed because it cuts out distractions. Especially when you're at home, it's like, oh, I can see a dust ball in the corner or things that need to be done. So just closing the eyes helps you to just shut all those distractions out. And then coming back to the breath. So in the yin practice, we really want to focus on having longer exhales, as the longer breath out stimulates your rest and digest nervous system, which is your parasympathetic nervous system. And especially if you're perimenopausal or menopausal, we tend to have a lot of cortisol in the body, which is one of the reasons we gain weight. So stimulating your rest and digest nervous system helps to reduce the cortisol levels. So really we should be doing like 10 hours of yin every day. Wouldn't that be amazing? So when your partners are like, why are you doing yoga again? You can say, I have to reduce the cortisol. And then just settle. Again, you don't need to force your eyes closed, just soften them down. Just noticing whether you're clenching your jaw, perhaps your jaw's nice and soft. I always like to count my breath. It's one of the techniques I prefer to use. So inhaling perhaps for 4 counts and exhaling for 6 helps to make sure that my breath out is longer. And it also just keeps my mind focused, because my mind does tend to wander quite a lot. After your next exhale, just allow your breath to return back to normal. And remember, coming out of these poses is just as important as coming in, so don't rush. Just bringing the top arm back to under your shoulder, bringing the leg back, straightening the legs. Allow your weight to come into the supporting hand so that you can roll onto the front. And then I like to bring my arms in. You wouldn't think I do a regular practice, would you? and then bring yourself back up again. There's a very big difference between stretching muscles and stretching the connective tissues, or releasing the connective tissues rather than stretching. So sometimes, like, especially when I get new people, they'll come to a yin class and say, oh, I didn't really feel much. And then the next day I'll get a text going, oh, I'm quite stiff. So it's one of the things I love about yin yoga. It's so gentle on your body, but also very, very effective. Really good for the health of your tissues. So I hope you enjoyed that chest opening or shoulder opening session that was called the broken wing pose. And I shall see you in another video very soon. Take care.